Good morning, good morning. Sorry you got a little blank screen there. Good morning, everyone. Come on in, grab your coffee. This is going to be a bit of a noisy video this morning because I'm in the process of printing out some of the journal covers. So I'm just doing these blank. These will be for the blank ones. So this is the kind people for my kind of people. This is for the blank book, so it'll look like this. Not as thick. They're going to be 25, not 50 pages. Not 60 pages. I think these are 60 pages, so I'm going to do them at 50. But that's what I'm creating today. All the journals will not be out today. I was kidding myself, thinking that I'd be able to do that, being that I've had such problems with technology this week, all this last, weeks. But what I thought, I've been racking my brains actually, because I've just been sitting here listening to the printer do the printer things, and I thought, what can we do today together? And I'm going to show you the journal covers that I've got so far, or the planner covers I've got so far, and then I thought we might create a pattern and have it as a new cover. So we can either create it as a Word font cover, or we can create a pattern cover. So I'll show you what I've got so far. So we've got the fruit salad one, we've got kind people and my kind of people, we've got our love one, if you can see that one, we've got our my first rainbow one, which is actually my favorite. This is my favorite too, which is let's go adventuring. So that's the pattern of it. And then that's selfie love. So I thought if you want to, we could sit and create a whole new pattern. I've got an idea of what I want to do. Let's just get onto our Procreate app. This is the idea that I wanted we made this online a few months ago now. And so I thought, well, why don't we create a pattern out of that? I think that would be really, really cute. Good morning, Alison. I think that would be really, really cute to do. It'll be a white background because, ink. But yeah, I thought that would be really nice. So we can either do it as the sunflower and then have a saying underneath it, or we could make a pattern of the sunflower. So I think we could do both, maybe. That's kind of wild. And then you can say, well, I think, see, so this is what you'll be hearing in the background. So I'm just going to print out another one of those, and then we'll print another design. That way I can multitask, because that's how I run my business. I multitask. I'm just going to put this up on the chat up on my laptop so I can see what's happening, because at the moment I'm using my phone. Emery and I are investing. We talked about it the last couple of days, and then this morning she talked about it more. Well, we talked about it more. And we were investing in a proper camera. So instead of using my phone, that way you can vlog what's happening in the studio more. I can go live a lot more. It's going to be a lot more cohesive, and all that stuff. So that's what we're doing this weekend. But in the meantime, let me just get this up and running, and we can go from there. So talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. So yeah, so we're going to be designing journal covers. I'm just listening to you whilst typing up quotes. Lovely, lovely. It's funny, Alison, actually, I was going to do the audio today to see what that looked like. Well, kind of, yeah, looked like or sounded like. But we might do that next week. We might do a Monday motivation video audio, like an audio that's video. No, just an audio. I don't know. Anyway, good morning. I had the loveliest time with Miss Gemma yesterday. I messaged Gemma and said, hey, would you like to have a coffee with me and I can deliver your subscription box to you by hand? And she went, yes. The funniest thing was Gemma's got such a tiny wrist. I've got a small wrist. That's the size of my wrist. So if you can see that. Gemma's is, we worked out, where's the thing? Gemma's is that tiny. So I cleverly said, oh, let's fix it now and cut Gemma's. And then I cut it so small, look, I cut it so small that we couldn't actually tie it on a wrist anymore. Like that! So, sorry Gemma, I'll be doing up your... That's the plan today. I've got Gemma's stuff on the corner here, so I'll be fixing up hers today. And what I'm going to do now, for all those who have subscription boxes in Patreon, what I've done is, hopefully, I've done it so you can undo it. That was the problem with Gemma's, because I tightened it too tight. And I've made it so big that you can then get someone to like tie it on, or you can tie it yourself when you work out what size you want, and then you tie it tighter that way. From now on, what I think I might do is, yeah, see, it's hard because you just don't know wrist sizes, and I don't want to get to the stage where you're like, what's your wrist size, because people measure different and you know, all that stuff. So we'll work it out. We'll work it out eventually. Okay, so all those are done. Let's get on to this one. So yeah, so when we've got the new camera, what's going to happen is, hold please. I want that one. Okay, I got it. When we get the new camera, I'll be able to really show you the studio and do proper vlogs that we'll have on YouTube. So it'll be a professional. We're getting professionals. We're going all in, basically. But for now, we're going to do this pattern, which is the beautiful sunflower that we created ages ago. And we can go from there. So that is actually one of the washi tapes that I've been working on, which is just like your little sunflower. I'm thinking of probably spacing them out a little bit more, but I thought that would be a really cute washi tape. Nice and bright and shiny, wouldn't it? So let's duplicate the... I'm trying to work out which one was the original. Let's duplicate this one. As you can see, I've got one there, but I'm not sure if that's actually correct or not. So let's just duplicate it. We're just going to name this one actually original. And then we can go from there. So original. And then that way we won't play with it. Okay, so what we can do, I absolutely love creating patterns. I love it. Love it. You don't understand. I love it. I'm just working out what's where. So let's put them all in together. And then they look like that. So what we want to do is save that. Look, that one. And then we want to create 4 of these. So one, always create it from the bottom one up, because it does lose its, if you create it always from the top, it does lose a little bit of its luster. I know that's not, you know, technically what it's called. So what we want to do with this is go onto here. We want to go onto canvas and then drawing guide. Oh, no, we don't. That! What am I doing? We want to go onto the arrow, click snapping, and you definitely need magnetics. When you're doing any kind of pattern, you definitely need magnetics done. And I just saw something, and that's probably why that's... Oh no, that should be fine. You definitely want magnetics and snapping done. So magnetics and snapping. So what we're going to do is we're going to create, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to create a pattern. So we want it to be like there. We'll do one over there. Do that one over there. And then this one. So what we can do is then just have a little bit of a play. Let's take this magnetics off for a second, just so we can move it around a little bit freer. So I'd like to have perhaps like a bigger one there and then these little ones around, just to create a different look, and you want to have a fair amount of white space in between them, and we can do that. What do you think? Does that look cute? So what we definitely need to do is just make a white layer underneath that, and then we like all those, so let's smoosh them in, because that's been a problem, I realise. So one, just do 4 again, 2, 4. I know I just said 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we put our magnetics on, and then what I like doing is touching it. I just made this cover, which is cool. All the patrons actually got the small version of this in their box. So they got that. This is mine because I smudged it, but this is what they received. Gemma loved it. She's like, oh my God. It was so lovely to be able to actually give someone. I made her open it in front of me. I'm like, open it. We had a coffee first, and then I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm like, open it. And she loved it, and it was so lovely watching someone undo the box, and then looking at each one, and then telling me about it, like what she liked, what she would change, all that stuff. Hello, Selena. How are you? Selena. They are one of my favourite flowers as well, Alison. I love sunflowers. You just have to show me something I never... You have just shown me something I never knew how to do. Really? What was that? Okay, so, and I friggin' love that. I'm good. How was your work? I'm fascinated by it. So what we want to do, because we've got snapping on, this is what's going to happen. You'll see this little line. See that? It goes snap. So you want to make sure that you don't undo your pen when you do this, because then you'll create a line like I just did. God damn it to hell. Okay, let's just do that again, shall we? Oops. Oh, go back. I don't undo transform. No. Ha! Phew! Okay, so that's what the problem is. So what we want to do is we just want to grab that corner. I always start from the bottom because it's easier, and just undo. That's the first one. Second one, you want to go from this corner and then up the top. Wait till it snaps. And then undo this one. So from the top to the bottom. Top to the bottom. And then this one from the top to the bottom on that side. And as you could just see, we've just created a pattern. So as you can see here, see how they're all uniform? What we'll do now is we'll create a cute little thing in the middle of here. So we want maybe just some leaves, I reckon. What do you think? Let's get on to some Aquarelle, because I love her stuff. And we want probably a wet brush look. So let's make it lock that one, make that bigger, because we want to do it fairly big, don't we? No, it's not. I think it's that one. That's better. So we want to create some cute little leaves. Now this is a wet brush, which means that when you go over it again and again, it goes darker and darker. Can you see that? So that's what we kind of want it to do, because it creates a little shadow. What else could we do? Oh, you know what? Instead of that, why don't we just put some nice yellow and gold flecks? Because sometimes that's cool too. Let's see. Let's see. What side is your canvas? My canvas is, I normally do it as the biggest size. It is 3000 by 3000. Remember, I've got an older one than yours too, Selena. So you'll probably be able to do, oh no, creating a repeat pattern. Oh, it's my favorite thing in the world. Work is good. They all have COVID. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Yeah, polka dots. Yeah, so you've got a larger, earlier model, a newer model of iPad. So you'll be able to create a bigger canvas size, which means that you can then do fabric, which is, again, what we want to get into. So that's another one. So let's do a couple more of those. So that's what you can hear in the background while we're working. I did go and get my swap over the printer that my mum and I had. I've gone back to my original Pixma MG3660. I freaking love it because it's amazing. Okay. So, maybe I don't like that. That's when you start looking at it and go, I think it's because it's 4, you know? And that's what happens. We start again. So, let's start again. I think it's because it was 4. So, let's start with 3. Oops, that one. Not that one. So yeah, we'll start with 3. We'll make it a bigger one there. And then we'll make these ones super tiny. Oops, I've got some magnetics on again. So we'll do that one. And then we'll make that one a little bit smaller. So we want it kind of off center though. That's the thing. We can, that's 3. I'm thinking, we could go 3 or 5. Let's do 5. And then make that super tiny over there. And then that one's super tiny. Over there. The main thing is when you're doing patterns, don't let it touch the sides. Always have space around the sides. That way you can create it. So let's do a 5 pattern and see what that looks like. So we want to duplicate it and then just save it in case we love it. Sick. So 1, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, I didn't even have the chat open. Sorry, you're probably chatting to me. So again, you want to get onto magnetics. Before that, we want to put our white behind it. So that was silly. Oh, I keep duplicating instead of deleting. This is what I always forget to do. And then it's always got a little bit of a line. And I just realized why, because I don't have a color on the back of it. And it's so easy to do it, and then it's just one little pixel out, and if that's the case, you'll have a line right through your pattern. So you want to actually do that, and then we'll duplicate it. So 1 and 4. We want to go into make sure magnetics and snapping's on, so we then want to bring this corner up to 1. Oops. Come on. I always shake when I do it. It's very delicate. So that. This one. And then the corner. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's there. And then the top corner. That's better. Look at that. That's heaps better. See? Now all we need to do is put one in the middle. So we'll just grab that one there. Put it up the top here. We'll make it visible, and then we'll bring it down to the size that we want. We might even spin it right round, baby, right round. And then we can put, let's get magnetics off so it's easier. Put it just in like a little dot. Try to do it when it's offline. See how now we've created that lovely little, because that's, now we want to go like that, and then that's our pattern. So this is what it will look like. Good morning, Erin. How are you? This is what it will look like. So that's our main pattern, right? This is what it's going to look like when you make it a bit bigger. So you want to make it this pattern size, okay? So always duplicate and then lock that one because you love it. And then what I do is I then go on to, I airdrop this over to Illustrator. I create a swatch out of it, so it basically becomes a color. And then that's how I then put it on the books. It's so simple once you know how. I might do another one of those, and then we'll do another color, and then we'll create this. We'll just create a whole thing while I'm live with you guys. Erin, have you been sick again? I hope not. I hope you're okay. What's happening over there in the world of Western Australia? I'm going to have a play. Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so this is what it looks like, okay? And remember, you can do any color background if you want to, but remember with printing, it's gonna, you know, eat up your ink. But, so we want to do 4, remember? So 1, 2, 3, always from the bottom one, 4. And then you want to go from the bottom, you want to go up. I only do it this way because then I know where I'm at. So up. Oops. See, sometimes if you find that you've moved it, it will create a line. Those little pixels, man. They're crazy. That one or that one. And then this is when you start seeing the pattern. So this is what it will start looking like, just flat out, okay. When you've got a proper pattern swatch. Ta-da! Isn't that the most magic thing in the world? If I wasn't so obsessed with Animal Crossing, I would just make patterns all day. To be honest with you. Ta-da! And then if you wanted to, you could then say, well, I really love that. It is fairly uniform. So what you can then go back to do is maybe go back to your original pattern and maybe put a dot in there if you don't like it so coloured, if that makes sense. I just realised I've not done... I'll show you another way that you can do it too, because I just realised something. So let's save all that because, you know, it's quite fun. But let's go back to our original and then I can show you another way as well to do it. So we've got that one and another one. So we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll just do it with 3 this time. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. So we want a big one. Let's do a bigger one in the middle. And then do little bubble ones on the side. Oops. Like that, maybe. What we want to do is we want to, will we do it that way? Hang on. Bear with me. I'm trying to work out how the best way to show you how to do it. Because you want it fairly big first. Okay, so I want that fairly big. Okay, so we can do it there. So you want it like that, okay? And that's your pattern that you want. Remember to put a background on it. So you want that. And then that's the pattern you want, okay? So what you want to do is create 4. This is another way that you can do it. Just create 4, and what you can then do is do it this way. Sorry. It's a bit funny. See, I do it a completely different way to what a lot of other people do it. This is another way you can do it, but I kind of do a shortcut version. Because otherwise you're looking at creating layers, and you can do it that way if you want, and duplicate that, and then you move this one down and put that over that way, and then you put that one over this way, and you can create like a pattern that way if you want, and then you move them over and all that stuff. But the way I like doing it is the way that you've just shown. See? It just, yeah. Otherwise it's just, you're like, I'd rather just see it and it's done. So what can we do? Perhaps should we put it, let's duplicate that. I'm just not happy with how uniform it is. We want the eye to flow around, not go up, down, up, down. So, like Selena said, we could do little polka dots. Let's do the polka dots. I don't know why that size is not that size. Let's create a different one. So we can do with that colour, or it might be nicer doing it that colour. Come on, make a circle. And with this green, we're going to create a random pattern. And that's what our eye is going to find. So you don't want it all in line. 1, 2, 3. Maybe just 3. Oh, maybe... Yeah, see, otherwise it's going to be in line. Maybe there. Still going to be in line. Okay, we'll just do 3. 3 it is. So let's duplicate that, lock it, make 4. And let's see what it looks like. I mean, it's going to be super small, but I won't have it this small on a book. You could have it this small on a pattern, like on fabric. Woo! How's that for randoms? I think it's too uniform. It would make a great wallpaper, but I'm not sure about a book, because I kind of like that it's... Let's see. Let's just... We're judging it and we don't realise that we're judging it. So we got that one, which is quite nice. And then we've got that one. I think what I'll do is I'm going to send that one over to my computer. I just send it through as an airdrop. I need an iPad. Yes, you do. How many times do you duplicate the pattern? As many times as, always 4, because it's 4 corners, and then as many times as, it all just gets smaller and smaller and smaller the more that you do it, of course. Sometimes you only do it once, like the 4 quarters. Let's just get off. Oopsies! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Oh, did that send over? untitled artwork. Oh, that's it. Okay, so we've done that one. That one. And let's do either that one or that one. That one with the green, hey. Oh, why am I sending it to my phone? No, I don't want to do that. Oh, sorry, that was weird. I accidentally sent it to my phone. I'm like, I just sent it to my phone. Being that I've already got it. Okay, so we've sent both of those. So what I can do, let's move this camera. This is why we're getting a new camera. Let's move the camera over to show you this part. If we can. Let's see if it'll work. You let me know if it's not working. Can you see the screen? Yes or no? Or is that going to be weird? Maybe? If I hold it like that, you can, because it's just going to go down. I'll hold it like that. I'm just literally holding it with my finger. Okay, so we've got those two there on the download. What I want to do is... This is my process. Oh, this is the Happy Pack wallpaper for Patreons, by the way. Hopefully you guys have done that. And when I say done that, I mean downloaded it. Rename. So this is sunflower with a dot. So, just so I know which one I'm doing. And this is just the plain sunflower. That way when we do our swatches, we can do it. Okay. So we've got those. We want to bring... I just put them always on my desktop first. Open up Illustrator, I'm sorry. This is all the artboards I've created with Illustrator. That's got our patternings on, and you can see that it's got the cover on here. This is magic. So what we need to do is we need to grab these two files and put them over in here. They're going to be super small. Did that just go 1 and 2? Yes, it did. Okay. What we want to do is go up to object. We want to rasterize it. I don't know the word. I call it rasterize, and then I just I don't know what it is. Anyway, if you can see that. So I use it as transparent, 300 dpi artboard. So what that means is it's basically now a image in Illustrator. This is, you just watch, okay? So we're going to do this one. Let's make it a bit bigger so you can see. So what I'm going to do is change this color, okay? So this is a color that I've done. So I want to go over to swatches, and then I want to just drag this over onto my swatches panel. When I click on this, I can then change it to that. Because see how it's so big? What you can do, because it's already created this big thing, what you can do then, I'll make it bigger. See how it's made it super big? What you can do is you can go over to Object, Transform, Scale. When you're in scale, you don't want to transform your objects, you just want to transform the pattern, and then we might do it so it's like 200%, and then we'll see what it looks like. See? So now we're looking prettier. So maybe instead of 200%, I might want to do it, say, 250. So scale. I'll make it 250 and then see what that looks like. So that's also nice. I actually like the 200 better. Ta-da! So we've got that. We want to move this up a tinsy bit. We want to move this up a tinsy bit. We want to move that over. So that's cool. We then want to Option Command E. We then want to find where it is, fruit salad. So we'll just call that sunflower. So then we know it's going to be named properly in our computer. Sunflower, export, done. So let's then put, oh, that hurts my arm holding that. First world problems, Nick. We want to put our, I use 200 GSM paper. It feels like satin to me for some reason. It just has a nice feel. So you stick that in your thing. Let's see where we've got it. We've named it sunflower. Where is it? Oh, there it is up the top. So that's our book. It's a beautiful. We then do that. I want to do it as a smaller one, so I do 2. I want to have it as a little bit of a thing there, so we might make it not that much, just so I've got a little border around, so when I cut, I don't even like that either. Maybe 23 is good. Oh, 23 is good. Okay, and let's print it. Ta-da! Let's see what it does. See how I can still see? It's amazing with Illustrator. Let's see if it actually turns up. Sometimes you can still see that light, that line. Can you see that, where the pattern is? I hate it. I don't know why Illustrator does that, but it doesn't. We'll work out if it does turn up on the printed version itself. So we're just currently, this is why we're getting a new camera this weekend, so I can actually move you around properly rather than using this. So it takes a while for my printer to do its thing. Remember, it's got a lot of colour. So in the meantime, why don't I actually do this? Sorry, I'm going to make you feel sick in a minute. Sorry. Let's see if it'll get back to normal. Is that normal? No. I need to lock it in place. And it won't let me. Is that gonna... That's the only thing with this thing too, because sometimes... Sorry, I'm gonna make you feel really sick. Oh, that's... I shouldn't have mucked around with it, because it's not gonna play with me now. Let me just tighten it up. Is it there? Oh, come on. It's still doing it. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out how to lock this in place so it doesn't go shooting down on the... Is that better? Is that moving? It's either slowly going down or... I think it is, but it's so minuscule that we can't really tell. Let's bring this one up. Hopefully. So while that's doing it, we'll just make these. So then, when Selena and I were actually playing, when we went to our lunch date one time, I actually got this, and she said, "Buy it, buy it, buy it." And I'm like, okay. And then I didn't use it for ages because I was scared, and now I'm obsessed with making books. So let's move everything over. And then we can go from there. So I'll just move my computer over. So this is a score, I call it the scoreboard. This is my scoreboard. So we've got our scoreboard here. And what we want to do is have a sip of coffee. Yes, I absolutely do love it now. It's amazing. So what we want to do is we need to score them 3 times. Why I do it 3 times is then you've got a flat edge there and it allows you to keep more in. So these are 50 pages, so 25 sheet, I think, or I've done 60 for some reason. Hang on, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, see, I've done 60. I should do 50. So these will be 50 pages. I'll sell the 60 or I'll just give them to the Patreon boxes. But yeah, they'll be 50-page books. And then you score it 3 times. And then you put your staple in the middle. So that says it's 8. So that's 4, but it's 8 1/4. So we want to go 4 1/4 is half. Got it? So that's your first one. So that's your main one where you're going to put your staple. So you just grab your little penny thing. Oh, you can't even see that. I'm sorry. Can you see that now? That's better. So it's 8 1/4. So which will be 4 1/4 is half. And then you just score it straight down. It won't rip your paper. And I do it 3 times just because I wanna. And don't rush it like it's... And then you go either side. So you go that line and then that line. So I go either side. 1. And then this one. Cute. Keel. And then I just count out 25 sheets, or it's going to be, what did I say, a 25, a 50, yeah, so 25 sheets, half is 50. Ta-da! Look at our cute little board. Why is that crooked? Does that look crooked to you? So this is our thing. I wonder if that's why, because it's got a border around it. Does that look totally crooked to you, or is it just my eyes? On screen it doesn't look crooked. Okay. So we want to do it this way. So half. And then we want to go half. And then we want to go half. Keel. So we've got that. Perfection. We want to grab just our normal paper. I get Anne-Marie to get me some from Kmart. This is the Enco brand. It's 80 GSM. You get 500 sheets, and I don't know how much she pays for it. To be honest, I'm just like, can you get me paper? So we want to count out 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Of that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Probably when I start watching YouTube videos, I should just sit here and count 25 and then put a whole, like put ones there and ones there and ones there, and then I've got them all together. So this is my fun part because my OCD kicks in. I'm going to make this up higher so you can see. Oh God, did I just totally stuff that up now? Oh no, that's better. Is that betterer? You can see more. You had a blanket as a kid with sunflowers on it, Alison? I love it. Okay, so we just make sure that it's all cool and groovy. Okay. And I always use my backdrop to see like the lines of it. Not saying that the backdrop's actually going to be level, but we then grab our trusty, got this from Officeworks. If I find the Amazon link, I'll link all this stuff in the resources guide over on Patreon. So we've got this. I'll just move Gemma's stuff out the road. And I've got this so I can then do bigger and larger. So when I get into the A6 stuff, I can do it that way. So put that down first because otherwise it's crazy. Let's get you up higher. Like that. Okay. So we want to just put it so that line's there. See that line? So it's in the middle. That's why we do the 3. So you just do that. Put it there, and then you can work out your little white bits. This always reminds me of when you used to get weighed at the doctor. You know, when they have those things and they move all the stuff around that makes no sense to you. And you're like, I do not weigh that heavy. Your machine's broken. Okay, I have to stand up for this because sometimes this is where I stuff up. Because I don't do it hard enough. So 1 kill. And then I do 1 on that side. So make sure that you haven't moved it. That one, and then another one. So there. Oh, my back. And might have to move that down a bit. There. Kill. So we spin him over, and then we grab the tool that you're probably not supposed to do this with. Oh, where is it? Where's my tools? I did have it. Oh, I cleaned up. See, this is why I don't clean up. This is why I tell my wife I don't. Oh, found it. I don't clean up when I'm in the process mode. So what I do is I grab this cricket thingy that you flick your stickers off, and because your staples come up a little bit, you can use a butter knife if you want to. This was literally just handy. I started using the scoring knife, and then I thought I'm going to break that and then I'll cry. So just bring it so it doesn't hurt anyone's fingies. That one. I want that one. Okay. So we got those, right? So what we want to do is we want to go over and we want to just cut down the middle with our guillotine and then cut around the sides. But for starters, we just cut down the middle, and then when we bend them, we can cut around the sides. So this is going to be heaps of fun, and this is why I'm getting a new camera, everyone. And let me see if I can move stuff around so you can see it properly. And when I say move stuff around, I mean tidy up. Okay, so let's see if I can move you to here. Can you see? Oh yeah, you can see that, can't you? Okay, perfect. Perfect. So, we get our trusty little guillotine. I then put them through there. And because we've got that line of where the pattern stops, see that? I line it up where the cut is in this red thingy. Sometimes it takes a little. So like that. And then I look over here and see if it's lined up here, which it is, which is cool. You use your little thingy. Don't squeeze it too much because it's going to bend it. Oh, I just realised what's going to happen because I'm going to... Let's see if I can get you that way. Oh, I'll have to hold you for a second because I need to basically use that. That's better. And let's just use our muscles. Ta-da! Okay. Then we come over here. Like this. And this is the fun part. Not that this wasn't fun before. The fun part is, where did I put my things? Oh, here it is. So we get our little scoring knife again. And then we bend. But what we're doing is we're bending it on the outside corner, like the outside scoring part of each side. We're not bending it from the middle. You see what that means? So when you bend it, you kind of just slowly work out the bend first. Spin him right round, baby, right round. And then using the bottom part of the knife, I kind of squish him down first, and then you use your muscles and do it that way. So then again on the other side, see it's bent on that line, on the other side, that's what I want to do now, on this side. So this side, and this is the fun part because you kind of have to coax it into doing it. Otherwise it splits the paper if you don't do it this way too. So you want to teach it to play nice with the other sides. Make sure that your bottom piece is good. And then you press down just to coax it a bit, and then that's why I also use the 200 GSM, because otherwise the paper fibers start splitting when you're doing it this way. Ta-da! So that's one little book, and then we'll do the other one, and then we'll go over and cut them up. So again, so you've got your first one. So remember to get on your first line. We'll do it that way. This is also why you pay a little bit extra for a handmade product, because you guys can see how much it just takes to make 2. It's not manufactured in a warehouse or anything. It's like literally your own ink, your own paper, your own designs, your own time. This is the part that's a bit tricky. Just getting that so it's bent in that second, so it's flush. That's better. Oops. Cute. So we've got 1 and 2. Let's bring you over. And this is the last part. So we've got this here. So what we want to do is we want to make it all really flush. So it's nice and fancy. So we'll do the tops first. Let me just lift that up. I know it's going to hit you guys, but I might have to move you up more. That's better. So that'll work. Let me just move you out the road for a second. That's better. Just so I can get this properly done. So there, and then the other one. So remember to line it up where your red line is. I've got the link for this guillotine in the resources guide too on Patreon. And then this is the key, not to squish it so much when you're in this part, because it will split if you're not careful. So we want it to be flush. Okay, and then we use our muscles like that. So that's one bit. Move you up the road. The bottom bits. I like that little at the end, because you know that you've actually done something. Like, ooh! It's giving me muscles, so that's nice. So bring it up, and then the last bit, because you've squished it to its nth degree. A lot of times I do it from the back, because that's where the line is. So we'll do that one. And that one. And then you can see okay, that way. Muscles. If it's not complete, like you can see that it's lined up, this is where you then work out if it is lined up or not, and then you can adjust before you cut. Muscles. tend not to open the blade that much when I'm doing this part. I've heard of people cutting their fingers off and stuff. Okay, let's move it up. And then it should, ta-da! Let's move you over here and down. Have a great day, Selena. Ta-da! There you go. We've just created ourselves some cute little notebooks together. I really love this design. What do you guys think? Super cute for spring, right? I will probably create them with a different flower as well, but that looks really nice. I probably would move this over, to be honest, in the middle more, so I know with that pattern that I just need to move it over to here. I think the 2022's in a good spot though. Ta-da! Fixed it! So there you go. We've now created ourselves a whole new design of notepads. Perfect. So let me know if you like these blank or if you would like them with things in it. So I've been creating these today, and that's going to be another thing that we can do, and that's why it's going to take forever, because it takes forever to print them off. It takes longer than these ones, to be honest, because it's all double-sided. But what they would look like is that you can have like a little wellness journal. Now I'm talking about the bigger ones though, so I'm talking about the bigger size, right? So what we can do, because we love it, we will go in and change that plan with me over that way a little bit now, while I'm here, so I know what I'm doing. And then, so that needs to be just over to there. And then we'll do it on a bigger piece of paper. Oh. And then we'll see how it looks in the bigger style as well. So we've just saved that. So I'm just printing off the bigger sheet, and then we can see what it looks like. But as far as I can see, the pattern's wonderful. There's no lines in it or anything like that. I mean, there is a slight, but you just can't help that. It's just a, maybe my Illustrator needs to be up, but anyway. So that's those, which is perfect and wonderful. And then oh really, you had a blanket with this? That's nice. I think this would be a great fabric pattern actually. I would probably go in and make sure that that's lined up, because that would show up on a pattern, on fabric heaps. But I think that's nice. I love it. It's got me into making patterns again. It looks great on camera, if I do say so myself. So we're just printing off the larger one. So while we do that, let's put those aside and let's continue to score the other ones. So we're not just, I don't like just sitting waiting, I like creating. So we've got our others. that we can score while we're waiting. Put those to the side for a minute. So we've got that one already done. We've got this one that we need to do. When they're blank like that, it is, once you get into the rhythm, it is fairly fast to do them. I think in an hour I was able to make 10 little notebooks. Which was quite good. And you know, what you do is you just print them out in the morning, and then you watch your favorite YouTubes. I'm talking Animal Crossings, or you know, my channel. And then you just go ahead and make and create some fun little notebooks for yourself, for your friends, for your business, whatever you want to do. Hey Alison, how cool would it be with tools all over it? I could totally do a tool time one. Although in saying that, I don't know if I've got the Procreate files for them anymore. That's, I bet you I don't. I think they are G-O-R-N, gone, as my brother would call it. 3. My kind of people are my kind of people. So I got this particular board from Lincraft. It was the cheapest, I think when Selena and I went, it was like $25 or something, and at Spotlight they were around 50, and that's why she was like, oh my god, buy it, buy it, buy it. I would totally buy one. She'd already had one. She's like, that's so cheap, and it is just literally brilliant. Once you know how, it is so easy to do. So yeah, but if you can't find that, let me know and I will put a link for an Amazon equivalent on there, so you can get it yourself. You might not have a Lincraft store around. Michael could writes notes in his scribbly writing that he expects me to read. Funny. He writes like a doctor. Really? That's so funny. There you go. But yes, I have no idea if I can recover those files of the ones I did. And they look so good. Like, I can do them as stickers, but not as images, because Procreate updated and then my iPad had to get reset and I lost everything. I have been in Lincraft, I swear, every second day this week. Really? I love Lincraft. It used to be, I mean, Lincraft was the go-to craft, wasn't it, before Spotlight? I felt it was fancier. Now it's a little bit daggier, but it used to be fancier than... Because isn't Lincraft the Maya or David Jones craft section? I thought that's what originally it was. Okay. Okay, here's the bigger one. So this one is 11.5, if you can see that. So it's 11.5, or just over 11.5. So that means that that's 5.5 and a bit. How are we going to do this? So 5's 10, 11 is a half, and then it'll be a quarter. So it would have to be there, wouldn't it? Or, you know what you do? if you can't work it out, you go the old-fashioned, and then you just make sure that you've got it exactly, and then you give it a little bit of a, and then that way you can see that that is halfway. Oh, it says 6 is halfway. Really? Let's see. Do this for the first one, so then you've got it down. So it is 5 3/4-ish. So I know when I do this, it's just before the 6 that I have to do this particular pattern. I just realised, oh no, that's right. Okay, so we've got that. I'm running out of room where to put things. I'll put it down there. I'm getting hungry and it's not even 10 o'clock yet. Far out. So with these particular ones, I quite like having 30 pages or 31 pages, because if you wanted to create it like a journal, and then like draw or put stickers in or do whatever. So let's count these out. You can never find anything at Spotlight that's true. Ooh. That sounds nice. I think Lincraft's really started to kick in. Maybe, you know, COVID's good for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I can't see. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. Oopsies. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, which means 32 because you have it. Okay, so we've got this. So this is the bigger version of it, which is a little bit different because we're only cutting it really on the sides. So we get this, make sure that it's all cute and groovy. Grab our fancy pants stapler. Make sure we've got it in the middle. In the middles, and I want to we need to do 3, so we need to do one before the 2022, one in the middle, and then one at the end. So we want to make sure that's on, which is good. One's good too. You don't know how many times I've done that and the stapler hasn't gone right through. And that one. Fixed it. Okay. Use your trusty little spatula. Nothing worse than getting a staple in your finger. Well, there probably is. Like shark bites are probably worse than... Not by far though. Because it stings, doesn't it, staples? They kind of sting. Okay, so that is flute. It's flute. Grab our little our knife, scoring knife, and it's exactly the same. So what you want to do is you've got your threes. So you want to find your first line, middle, and next line. So you want to bend it on your first line. So remember, because this is a lot more thicker, being that it's wider, it does take a little bit to coax it into line. So just take your time with it. So press. Just a couple of times, just to get it used to it, and then press down. What I do after all this is I will put all of these in a press, what I call my mum's heavy craft books. Some people get a fancy press, like a flower press, and you put it in that for probably an hour or two, and that'll really press it down flat, so then they look like completely flat. See how that one's still got a bit of a ridge? So it just gives it that nice, it's bent the paper and trained it to sit how you want it to sit. So again, you just bend it. So this is what I'll be creating all week next week for the launch on Friday, now that we've got it all together. So I'll just be printing my little heart out with the journal inserts. And then we'll have a whole range of different books. And what I can do then is be able to say, this is the covers, what's the insert that you want, maybe? We could do that. That might be easier actually than trying to print off a whole heap and then trying to work out what people want. So again, sometimes it's just that little bit different depending on how much you've scored it. Remember, it's going to get flatter once you've put it in your bind. So let's run over to the contraption that is the guillotine. And what we want to do first and foremost is we want to do the front and back. So use the back one first. Make sure you line it up on the sides here too. And then move you at the road. Oops. Move you at the road. Just so I can... Oh gosh, that was strong. Okay, so that. And then we've got this. Now sometimes this is why it splits sometimes, because it hasn't been pressed. So maybe I should press it first and then cut them, maybe. I don't know. It's all a trial and error really, isn't it? So we want to just go to the edge. Don't squeeze it too much that it splits it, but you need it enough that it's going to do it. Oops. Just moved it. Oh, as I said, you get muscles when you're doing this stuff. Okay, that one, perfect. And then, whoops, why isn't that up? Oh, that's why. The last one. Squishing. We could actually make that a little bit bigger. And, ooh, see how that moved then? And that, ow, 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 see, that's why you don't do it that way. It's because I've got you guys here. Let's just work this out first, so we can work it out. Okay, so let's squish him first. Okay, now let's see if it's got a line. Just not wanting to play, is it? I think it's because I didn't squish it down enough. Oh, that's better. Oh, gosh. Muscles. Okay. Let's get all our paper in the bin, because, you know, a tidy studio is a good studio, because you then don't work in a mess. I just looked over at all the messes that I've been making. Easy. Trying to keep it clean. Okay, so let's see how that worked out. That turned out all right, didn't it? I think that worked out well. So see how it's split there? So what I would do is I would just shave that off a little bit, just because of that particular squeezing. I will put those in a press. I think that's cute. Like, that would be a cute bundle, don't you reckon? I could even do like ones that you can have little sticker packs that have got like the to-dos and remembers and all that stuff on there. Oops, you nearly fell over. But yeah, I think that's cool. Ta-da! Thanks for helping me create a whole new pattern for the books. There you go. Pretty. Hey Monica, how are you? Yeah, I like it. I think we did well with that one. Let me know what other flowers or what other colours you would like to see. And then we might do like one a week, perhaps. We'll create a notebook a week with just different patterns and things like that. But this particular one will be in the shop next week along with the others. My launch is going to be back for a week so I can keep up with everything. But yeah, I love it. This is the blank version. And I think they look sweet. They really turned out nice. Thanks so much for helping me. I love and adore you. Have a fantastic Frangipanis, Alison. Yes. Let's do a Frangipani one next time. I think that would be amazing. Amazing. Frangipani wins. I was even going to do like a combi van one. And put, you know, the whole "Not all who wander are lost" on it. I think that would be cute. And then I thought about a whole travel log that you could put where you've been, what you saw. You know, there's a whole range of things coming out. So, yeah. Frangipanis is a definite. We might do that on Monday, I think. Let me practice making a Frangipani first, and then we can go from there. So what I'll probably do is either create the original image and then we'll make the pattern, or we can go from start to finish. You let me know. I was going to say a travel vlog for my caravan trips. Yes! Well, that was the original idea for the Let's Go Adventurings that I wanted to do. So I wanted to have this and then have a travel log. But I'm going to have to bend your ear again, Alison, because, you know, I don't go travelling in my camper van. Being I don't have a camper van. So I would want to know, like, would you put date, destination, kilometres, what you saw, would you go back, you know, stuff like that. So, well, let's create, that's what we'll do next time. I want to do the solo art trail. I think that would be beautiful. There's some in Portland where I used to live, in the middle of Lithgow and Bathurst, for those playing at home. Why don't we create that next week? Let's create a travel log together for camper van people. That would be amazing. Okay, sweet and cool. We'll do that. It will probably be over on YouTube because I'll have a whole better setup for that rather than Facebook. Facebook's very limited with the things we can do. It depends on if we get the camera or not. So if we get a new fancy camera, I will be doing over to YouTube. Don't worry, I will send you all the links. It'll all be cool and groovy. You won't miss out. And then you can do a live chat over there as well, and it'll be amazing. Listen to that lovely magpie. He's right there. Cheeky little thing. Can you hear him? Let's see if I can move the camera around so you can see it. I don't want to freak him out. Are you both looking at me? He's like, oh. Here we go, right on. Let's see if I can do it without breaking you. Can that happen? Can you see him? I don't know if you can see him or not. Oh. Let's see. Can you see him? He's just there. Are then I sing? No. And obviously I don't speak magpie. So that's the lesson for the day. How to create notepads and how not to speak to magpies, because obviously they get offended and they fly away. But have a great weekend, everyone. I have kookaburras sitting in the tree laughing. Oh my god. Emery would be so jealous right now, Alison, because she's never seen one. She's heard one once, but she's never seen one up close, and she's fascinated by kookaburras. And it's funny because we'll be driving, she's like, wow, look at that white bird. I'm like, yeah, it's a cockatoo. And she's like, wow. I'm like, oh yeah, I forget. we take these birds for granted so much, and then someone from overseas comes to live here and they're like, that's like for real? Yes, that's for real. They're annoying. But any hoots. My dogs are frightened of them. They back right away from them. Oh, bless. But have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will be creating a whole heap of stuff. For those who are in Patreon, all your snail mail for January and your sub boxes went out yesterday. All of them went out yesterday. So someone messaged me, I can't remember who it was. Someone messaged me and said, hey, did you have the December one? You got printables for December because there was no way you were going to get them posted during that whole thing. So that's why I did a whole heap of printables for Patreon over there. So I think you get 2 or 3 weeks of printables, as well as the happy pack. So yeah, all January stuff went out yesterday. Super excited about that. I'll be working on the orders that came in at the start of the week, today and tomorrow. I post now on Wednesdays. Anne-Marie's made me promise that I'll only post on Wednesdays, so I don't feel so overwhelmed to do it all in one go. So whenever you do an order, whether it's on Monday or if it's on Friday, it will always be posted on a Wednesday, so that way you'll either get it on the Friday or the Monday, which is perfect, isn't it, really? Have a fantastic weekend, Alison. I adore you and I love you. Thank you for watching, everyone else. Thanks, Selena. Thanks, Monica. Thanks, Alison. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Please stay safe out there. Do what you can. Rest when you can. Play Animal Crossing as much as you want. And I will see you on Monday. Okay, thanks, everyone. Bye.